Spreading all around my room, my world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video here on the World of Juice channel, and welcome back, finally, to the Cleveland Browns franchise here on Madden 26. I apologize for it taking a little bit longer than usual to get a Browns franchise video out. The offseason videos in Browns franchise take a little bit longer than normal because I'm doing a little bit of extra work on the side to make the videos a little bit more enjoyable. So the off-season videos take a little bit longer, but we are here and we are ready to go. So I appreciate your patience, and I hope you enjoy the other videos that I have on the channel. And I hope you're enjoying Browns franchise because we just won the Super Bowl in year number 2 of Browns franchise. Your Cleveland Browns have gotten out of obscurity, risen from the absolute depths of just poverty franchise, and ascended the mountaintop to be the kings of the NFL. Julian Enriquez, rookie quarterback, led this team to a Super Bowl. Now, to be fair, it was a lot to do with Quinshaw Judkins being the best running back in football, but Julian Enriquez had some big moments. He had a big touchdown in the snow. Our path to the Super Bowl was not an easy one. We started out with somewhat of an easy one. We had to play a road game against the Jacksonville Jaguars, who won the AFC South with 8 wins. But after that, it certainly was not an easy road. So we really earned the Super Bowl. We went to Buffalo in the snow and beat them barely. I think it was like 12-10 we beat the Bills. Then we had to go to Arrowhead in the AFC Championship. That game surprised me. We actually looked really good in that game, and Patrick Mahomes looked really bad. I think he threw 3 interceptions, maybe 4 interceptions. I can't remember exactly, but he had a bad game. And then to cap it all off, in the Super Bowl, we played the Chicago Bears, who not only are a really good team here in year number 2, but they have the MVP. Caleb Williams won the 2026, MVP of the league. But he was not good enough to beat the Browns, and we won the Super Bowl. So now we go into the offseason with around $50 million to play within cap space. We could really make this team a dynasty. If we spend the money right and if we draft right, this team could be a threat for years to come. So if you're going to enjoy, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club. We are on the road to 5,000 subscribers. So if you want to help me get to that mark, hit that subscribe button and join the Juice Club. But if not, then just sit back and you're ready to watch a Browns offseason video because it is going to get crazy. Who knows the kind of moves that might be made today. If we take a look at the season recap, here it is. Julian Enriquez, Super Bowl MVP. He made some good throws in that Super Bowl. Caleb Williams wins MVP of the league. We knew that because we knew that going in. Lewis Fox, who is definitely not the Browns or the Bears' original head coach. He is. They must have fired what's his face? Why am I blanking on the dude's name? Whatever, the Lions offensive coordinator. I can't think of his name right now, but whatever it is, he got fired after year 1, and now Lewis Fox is there, and he got coach of the year. Brandon Ayuk and Chris Jones, what year is it? Are the players of the year, and then Diego Alonso and Jake Goldstein from the Lions are the rookies of the year. So Diego Alonso, we had a chance to draft last year from Miami, and we chose not to. Retirements, any big names? Shaq Mason, Nick Folk, DeMarcus Lawrence. We saw that on the right of the screen there in the home screen. Dalvin Cook, I didn't even realize he was still in the league. Matthew Judon, Derrick Henry. King Henry calls it a career. That's a major one. Hall of Fame, easy. Geno Smith retires, so the Raiders might be looking for a quarterback because I don't think they drafted one last year. Stephon Diggs retires. That's a shocker. But I could see it. I hope it doesn't happen in real life, but I could see it. Joel Bitonio, Graham Glasnow. Lions losing a couple big offensive line pieces. Darren Waller, not a surprise. He was basically retired already. Kevin Byard, I thought was retired, to be honest with you. DeForest Buckner, Grover Stewart retiring is a big one. Chris Jones, after winning Defensive Player of the Year, he hangs it up. Xavier Woods, Deion Jones, Brandon Scherf. Josie Jewell, after 9 seasons, calls it. Wow, okay. It doesn't look like we have anybody, though. Tre'Davious White, he fell off real hard. Yeah, I don't think we have anybody, though. If we go to the Cleveland Browns, no retirements. W. Absolute W. Okay, so let's advance to the next week. We have $50 million to play with here. But there's some things other than re-signs that I want to explore here in this offseason. So Quentin Johnston, I talked a lot this season about how I wasn't sure if I wanted to give Quentin Johnston a contract extension. The only reason he's here is because I thought it'd be funny to have him on the team, and I put him on that same Traylon Burks path line where if he played well, he'd get a contract extension like Burks did last year. But I didn't really, to be fair, I didn't give him many opportunities, but he didn't play horrible. He played fine. I just think I can get something of value for him. So I'm going to trade him. Rico Dowdle, I'm not going to re-sign him for $7.5 million. I can totally get him back if I want to. I can totally get him back for cheaper than that. Elijah Sears, I would like back. He's a young, developing offensive lineman. He may only have normal dev, but he's good depth, if anything else. So I'll take it. And he's going to return. Leaves with $46 million in cap space. Isaiah Simmons, not paying him $7 million. Luke Whippler, I mean, he's a Buckeye. I'm not going to pay him that, even though I probably should. Cole Freeman, we have Eddie Velasco back now from suspension, so we don't have to worry about that. The only other guy is Quentin Johnston. I think it's time to trade him. And there's a guy, I've been looking around the league. I've been doing a little bit of research around the league. I've been wanting a running back with just unbelievable speed. We have our guy in Quinshawn Judkins. He's a clear number one. But we don't really have a running back that has crazy good speed. We have Dylan Sampson, but he's not really a burner type. We have Rico Dowdle, obviously, but he's clearly not a runner. There is one running back that I've been targeting, and I think you already know who I'm going after. Bashal Tutin. This man is unbelievable when it comes to Madden running backs. 95 speed, 96 excel. Yeah, that'll play. So I think I want to try to get him. Can I get him straight up for Quentin Johnston? Yes, I can. Okay, I thought I might have to toss in a draft pick or something. But Quentin Johnston heads to the Jacksonville Jaguars. If they re-sign him, they might not. And we acquire Bashal Tutin. Now, that does leave a weird spot. I could probably trade Rico Dowdle, actually. That leaves a weird spot for Dylan Sampson. I don't know what we do with him. No trade packages for Rico Dowdle, really? Is there anybody that needs a backup running back? I was going through all the teams, and I just remembered that the Ravens had Derrick Henry retire, so they could certainly use a guy like Rico Dowdle if they choose to re-sign him. And they do have Braxton Tyson and Rasheen Ali, but they could certainly use a guy like Rico Dowdle. Is there any way where Rico Dowdle can acquire me a second-round pick? The Ravens have no cap space. All right, well, I'm not going to trade Rico Dowdle then, because I'm not going to get anything else for him. I looked through all the other teams, and I didn't really see anybody that needed a running back of Rico Dowdle's level. So, do I really want to spend like $5 million on Luke Whippler? I don't think I do. That's not really what I want to do. So, I'm going to let the rest of these guys go to free agency. We're going to simulate a week and open up free agency here and see what we have. Adding Bashal Tutin, I really like. And we still could trade Dylan Sampson. I don't know what his role is anymore. If I go over here to the generate best lineup screen, what do we do with Dylan Sampson now? He's only 22. He's got 92 speed, 91 excel, but that's not Bashal Tutin level. We could move Dylan Sampson for something. I don't know if it's a draft pick or something, because we have Tutin. I think Tutin could go to the moon. I really do. I believe that. Free agency. What does free agency have in store for us? Oh my God. Trent McDuffie, Kyle Hamilton, Tyler Smith, Ronnie Stanley, Zay Flowers, Jonathan Taylor did not get re-signed by the Colts. Rashee Rice, Marlon Humphrey. This is a loaded free agency class. Trenton Simpson's down here as well. Kayvon Thibodeau would be a nice pickup. Oh my God, we have $46 million. How do I get everybody? I want everyone. How do I acquire everyone? Oh my God. Oh my God. Tyler Smith would be a legendary pickup. Jonathan Taylor would be fantastic to have. Rashee Rice would be phenomenal to have. But with $46 million, how do I do this? I really want Kyle Hamilton. I know we have Grant Delpit, but I really want Kyle Hamilton. Like I really want Kyle Hamilton. So I will offer a lot of money to Kyle Hamilton and hope that he says yes to that. We are in the lead for Kyle Hamilton over the Falcons. Now, where do we come down on Trent McDuffie? I love Trent McDuffelbag. I really do. We could use, honestly, another receiver, too. Like Rashee Rice or Zay Flowers would not be a bad one to grab. I know we have Eddie Velasco coming back from suspension, and we have Miguel Perez, we have Jerry Jeudy, we have Devontae Smith, but adding Rashee Rice possibly, I would not be mad at it. It would take up basically the rest of our money, though, if we were to go after Rashee Rice. If we were to offer on Trent McDuffie, it would also take up all of our money. What about if I were to go after Tyler Smith? We could offer Tyler Smith. We do have Christian Dickinson, who we drafted, but we could move him back to right tackle if we had to. We could. What do I want to do? There's also a possibility that I trade Taylor Lewan. I was thinking about this before I started. I was kind of going over the roster and seeing what kind of moves we could make. I don't know if Taylor Decker, if we need him anymore. I know he's a great player and he's a high overall, but I really do want to develop Christian Dickinson. I really do want to develop possibly DeJuan Jones, and maybe even if we draft some more offensive linemen in the draft, Taylor Decker, while he's still good, could get us something. I don't know what he could get us. He could get us Rashawn Gary, which we don't really need. Zion McCollum and Braden Fisk. We don't really need defensive tackle. Corner we could use, but there's corners in the free agency market that we could get that are better than the corners that we have here. So if I go to all teams that need left tackles, Braxton Jones, I don't think the Bears need a left tackle, and they're a rival because they played us in the Super Bowl. The Bengals certainly could use their left tackle, but they can't afford him. I just looked at that. We also got to be careful on who needs a left tackle. Everybody is, oh my God, nobody has any money. Dear God. I guess there's a reason why there was only a few teams that offered us trade packages. Obviously, the Patriots don't need a left tackle. The Raiders don't necessarily. The Rams do. Alaric Jackson, I forget how to say his name. They could certainly use him. The Ravens need him, but they don't have any money, obviously. There's not really a lot of teams. We're very limited on the options. I think the Rams could be a good choice because they desperately need some sort of tackle. He could play left or right tackle, I guess, for the Rams. And that's why they were offering me Braden Fisk. But I think I might be able to grab ourselves a little draft capital here. They don't have a second-round pick, but is Taylor Decker worth a first-round pick for the next 2 seasons, plus a second-round pick next year, or the year after? And possibly a third-round pick the next year, and possibly a third-round pick this year? Am I asking way too much for Taylor Decker? Yes, I am. I thought I was. I just wanted to test the waters. Gotta see where it's at. To be fair, it's a lot closer than I expected. I thought it was going to be like a little bit of red, but I'm thinking the first-round pick next year is a little bit too much. What about if I offer that? Okay, we're still in the red. So is a first-round pick for Taylor Decker too much? It's in the orange. A first-round pick for Taylor Decker is too much. Okay, I mean, I get it, but you're in desperate need. You're not really in a spot to argue with me, are you? They have Jared Goff, who they made the trade for with the Lions. Do you have anybody that I want? You have Josiah Stewart. You have Cordell Flott. Cam Kinchins is cool. Omar Spates. Jake Ferguson's here. Kevin Dotson. Kobe Turner. You don't really have anybody other than like Puka or Jared Verse, I guess. You don't really have anybody that I want. But I do feel like trading him to the, if we are going to trade him, trading him to the Rams is probably the best choice because they have the cap space to take him and they need a tackle, whether it's a left or a right tackle. But where do we go? Where do we go? Can I get Jared Verse? I cannot get Jared Verse. Okay. Can I get Puka? No, I can't get Puka Nakua. Um, 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 um. What do I want here? What do I want? What do I want? What do I want? Do I want to trade Taylor Decker? It would free up a little bit of money. It's not like that much money to free up, but it's money, and I like money. So, Taylor Decker. What about if we give him back to the Lions? Did I even think about that? They need a left tackle probably, right? Yeah, they have nobody, but they have no money. That's right. Why do you have no money? They have the third overall pick though. Oh, Jameer Gibbs would be legendary. Terry and Arnold would be cool. Um, Rashawn Gary and the Packers, Zion McCollum, and then Braden Fisk. I don't want Braden Fisk really. We don't need defensive tackle. We have plenty of those. Where do we go, and what do we get back in return? I guess I could send him to the Packers, and the reason they're giving me Rashawn Gary is because he's $31 million. I think the Rams is the best choice. It's just not very good draft capital. They traded a lot of it to the Lions, I think, to get Jared Goff. But if you give me a third round pick this year, a third round pick and a fourth round pick, then a second round pick, I guess I would call that good enough. And that is going to do it. It's a little light for Taylor Decker, but it is a couple of draft picks we'll take and we'll use. So now, giving up Decker, our offense looks a little bit weaker, but it does free up a lot more money to go after a possible Trent McDuffie. And then possibly a Tyler Smith or a Rashee Rice or somebody. We can make some things happen now. We can make some things happen. Do I want Zay Flowers? Do I want Rashee Rice? Do I want Jonathan Taylor? I mean, Jonathan Taylor's pretty cool. But we have Quinshawn Judkins. We just got Bashal Tootin. Does Jonathan Taylor really fit what I'm trying to do? I mean, he's Jonathan Taylor. We're going after Kyle Hamilton. I might want to increase this offer a little bit more. I know we're in the lead for him, but I might want to increase the offer a little bit more. 6-year deal. Move it up to like 12 million and a possible 12.5 million and see if that puts us above the Falcons. We should be swapping in and out with the Falcons. So the Trent McDuffie one is really interesting. The Tyler Smith one's also really interesting because getting a crazy good guard like that would be fantastic. But we have Trace Seawright. We have Christian Dickinson. Do we want to develop Christian Dickinson or not? Or do we just give up on him? I don't know. I feel like going after him would be a good idea. Just toss an offer there and see where we are. Are the other teams kind of lowballing him? Kind of. That leaves us with still $20 million. So we'd be out of the Trent McDuffie race if we were to go after Tyler Smith. We could still afford Jonathan Taylor. He's not asking for that much. That would really push Dylan Sampson out of the way. We'd have to trade him then. Oh, we just could have barely afford Rashee Rice. Is this the right move? Do we go after a guy like Rashee? It's not really that big of an offer, is it? No, it's not even worth it if we do that. We'd have to give him a little bit more money. What do I want to do here? What do I want to do here? If I go after Jonathan Taylor, then we can definitely trade Dylan Sampson. The fact that Jonathan Taylor's even here is kind of cool. So if I offer Jonathan Taylor a contract, that's Kyle Hamilton, Tyler Smith, and Jonathan Taylor, and we still have $10 million. And if I were to trade Dylan Sampson, our draft capital is looking okay. Unfortunately, the draft pick that we had was the Chargers, and they still made the playoffs. So we have a 22nd overall pick, but we were able to acquire that Rams pick. So we have an extra third round pick in here that we can use. We have a second round pick in 2029 for the Rams. Thankfully, that Taylor Decker trade did a little bit for us. Unfortunately, Dylan Sampson doesn't really give us much in terms of cap space. We could acquire Jordan Davis, but again, we don't need. He's on the Ravens, by the way. We don't need another defensive tackle, right? We don't need another defensive tackle. We're pretty good there. We've got Mason Graham, we got Michael Jr., and we have Keelan Hazleton. We're good at defensive tackle. We could get Marshawn Lattimore, but he's 31 and already an 82. Marshawn Nealon is interesting. He does 77 overall edge rusher. Do we really need that? I don't think so, right? We have Mike Green, we have Myles Garrett, Chase Young, and Jack Sawyer. So we don't necessarily need an edge rusher, even a 77 overall. And trading Dylan Sampson doesn't really free up that much. It frees up like $1 million. But Jonathan Taylor's so cool, man. Having the ability to get Jonathan Taylor is really sick. Maybe I can acquire some draft picks. I mean, the Jaguars could use a running back now that I got Bashal Tootin. What's the Jets running back situation looking like? Breece Hall, Jahmyr Gibbs. That's right, the Ravens, but they still don't have any money. Where does he go where he's actually competitive? Probably the Vikings. Dylan Sampson could play for the Vikings and start for them. They have 2 first-round picks. They have 3 second-round picks, 3 third-round picks. Oh, that's right, because oh my God, they have so many second-round picks next year. They sold their entire team. I forgot about that. So they acquired so many draft picks. They sold Justin Jefferson to the Panthers. They sold somebody else. They acquired so many draft picks. They're really raking in the cash here. If I could even acquire half of what they have, I know this is way too much to offer for Dylan Sampson, but you have a lot of draft capital. And for a running back that would start for you, I don't hate it. Okay, we could grab a second round pick and a third round pick this year. Or we could just offer for 2 seconds. 2 seconds for Dylan Sampson is not a bad deal, especially when we don't have a lot of draft capital ourselves. We're not really working with a lot of capital, are we? What would I have to give them in return? I could give them Jamari Thrash, I guess. Trade declined. Is there anybody else here that makes too much money? Zach Zinter, but he's more of a backup. We brought back Elijah Sears. He's making a little bit too much money, actually. If I had to trade him. I wouldn't want to trade him, but Nathaniel Watson's still here. What would I do if Nathaniel Watson's contract comes up? That's the big question. What am I gonna do? Am I gonna like re-sign him? I don't know. I don't think so. He's a good special teamer. But for the potential of a few draft picks, it doesn't seem like it's gonna work. 2 second-round picks. I feel like that's a solid deal, but I guess it's not. I really thought Dylan Sampson would get me more value. Clearly not. That's pretty close. That goes through. A second-round pick this year and a third-round pick this year for Dylan Sampson, Jamari Thrash, and Nathaniel Watson. All right, well, I wasn't expecting that to go through. I kind of was. I kind of knew that was going to go through. And that leaves us with a little bit of money to offer somebody. Probably one of the running backs. Or probably one of the wide receivers. Either Rice or Flowers. It can't be Rice unless we restructure. The fact that the Chiefs let him go is kind of crazy. It can't be McDuffie unless we Is there anybody we can restructure with? I know I'm getting in the weeds here, but I told you there could be some big moves happening. Myles Garrett we can possibly restructure. And that freed up a good amount of money. Rashee Rice is actually attainable now. If we offered him that, what does that do? It didn't register, I guess. What happened there? That was weird. Did it offer him? I don't know what happened. I guess it didn't count. Okay. I'll offer it again. Maybe it does. It's trying to tell me not to offer him, apparently. If I give him that, does it work now? No, I don't know. Something's glitched. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. It won't let me offer Reishi Rice. My money's not even up there in the top right. I have no idea what's going on. I'm starting to panic here. That's a lot of salary cap, or that's a lot of bonus for Trent McDuffie. Nah, we'd have to take down too much. McDuffie's probably out of the question. Flowers is way out of the question, that's for sure. It's really just Reishi Rice. I don't know why it's not letting me see the offer. It's very strange. For some reason, Danny Barrett's playing right tackle for me. That's not going to happen. He's going to be our center, obviously. Can it please be fixed? Why are we messed up here? I don't want to like advance and then lose out on Rice. That's not what I'm trying to do. So I'll make an offer. I don't know. It's not telling me that I have him. So let me advance a week and I might lose out on Reishi Rice here. Okay, something happened. The free agency period's all kinds of glitched. We got Kyle Hamilton. We didn't get Tyler Smith. We got Jonathan Taylor, and we didn't get Reishi Rice. The Saints got him, along with Tyler Smith. Well, why did it? We got Jonathan Taylor, which is cool, and we got Kyle Hamilton. I know we didn't necessarily need Kyle Hamilton because we have Grant Delpit. Tyler Smith would have been cool, but I can move Delpit or Cole Bishop for something else that we need, which might end up being a wide receiver. You know what? We have Eddie Velasco, we have Miguel Perez. We're fine enough at wide receiver, but adding Jonathan Taylor is pretty cool. But all free agency's all messed up. I can't like move different things. I can't move over like the different. I don't know. It's all weird. Losing out on these two is very frustrating. I wanted Reishi Rice, but it wouldn't tell me if I had a chance to get him or not. So I don't know what I'm supposed to do about that. Are there any other offensive linemen? Ronnie Stanley we didn't get. He went to the Titans. No, I don't want any of these guys. No. Oh, Derek Hall could be cool. But we're good at edge rusher. Defensive tackle we're good at. Right edge we're good at. Although Adofe Owe has not signed anywhere, but we don't need right edge. Sam linebacker we don't need. Mike linebacker we don't need. Although Landman's there. Nate Landman. DeMarvion Overshawn. Trenton Sampson going to the Titans is a little annoying, but or Trenton Simpson, I mean. I wouldn't hate a DeMarvion Overshawn deal. He'd be a nice backup to have. And now we have the money freed up, so we can afford him. Marlon Humphrey's still here. Do we need to go after a corner now that we didn't get Trent McDuffie? Like, going after Marlon Humphrey worth it? He might be. I could see a 2-year deal for Marlon Humphrey. If that even did that even register? I don't know what's going on with it. Okay, so it did register. We got Marlon Humphrey. Something's going on. Something's weird. Something's weird with the free agency. It got all messed up. But Humphrey comes in, another decent corner to add. We're probably thinking about trading Greg Newsome anyway. So that's also a possible freed up spot. I may just do that now. What can Greg Newsome get me? Nothing. Greg Newsome can't give me anything because nobody has any freaking cap space. Why does nobody have any cap space? Who's got money and needs a corner? The Cardinals have money. And they probably need a corner because we took Will Johnson. They have Dontrell Edwards, but they don't have anybody. I mean, Garrett Williams is decent. The Commanders have Trey Amos. The Eagles have good corners. The Jags could use a corner. Funny enough, that's where Greg Newsome actually went. Sauce Gardner's still a Jet. Can I get Christian Gonzalez? No, I didn't. I didn't think so. I kind of wanted him. What about J.C. Horn? Ooh, intriguing. J.C. Horn is actually a possibility, and he would go into a cornerback room that already has Denzel Ward, Marlon Humphrey, Will Johnson, Martin Emerson, Matt Marshall, Cameron Mitchell, and possibly a rookie if we draft a rookie. Huh. Having 2 second-round picks this year is nice. Having 3 third-round picks this year is nice. We don't need Donovan Edwards anymore. That actually moved the needle. This is possible. This is actually possible. Is this where I utilize Elijah Sears? We brought him back mainly for depth, but is this where we utilize Elijah Sears? I don't really have a lot of draft picks. That's the only problem. I've traded away a lot of my draft picks. But J.C. Horn would be a freaky tight end to have, or a freaky corner to have on this team. I know we're getting weird. I know we are. Trust me. But it's possible. And when there's possibility, I start to get a little weird. Chase Young is making $20 million. He's good. He's good, though. We did just bring in a DeMarvion Overshown. What about if I tossed him Cameron Mitchell? Unfortunately, we can't consider this offer that put us over the salary cap. Oh, what? What? J.C. Horn's making too much? J.C. Horn's making too much? Really? That's the problem? That's a bunch of B to the S. That's a bunch of B to the double S's. What about a 7th round pick this year? Unfortunately, we can't offer put us over the salary cap. Screw the salary cap, dog. Nobody cares about the salary cap. Why? I might have to make this trade next year when everybody's salary cap has been adjusted and everything. All right, so this has been a quite eventful offseason, that's for sure, so far. We still haven't even got to the draft yet. I think that's all I'm going to do in free agency, though. Bringing in Jonathan Taylor is kind of crazy, actually, and Kyle Hamilton. We can always trade either Cole Bishop or Grant Delpit for a possible receiver if we feel like we need a receiver, but kind of insane what we just did right there in free agency. I wish I would have been able to get Rashee Rice or Zay Flowers, but they didn't really want me to. Apparently, they were against me. The game was against me. They were thinking I was going to get too powerful if I would have acquired Rashee Rice or Tyler Smith. It would have been amazing. All right, so we get to private workouts. Private workouts, baby. What do we even need? I will go through and favorite all the guys that I'm interested in. We don't need a running back anymore, but I probably still favorite a couple just to keep an eye on them. We could use a wide receiver, and we know that there are a couple of decent ones. Philip McCord could be a guy. He's around 2 to 3, and he's a day 3 talent. So we could take another wide receiver this year. That's not out of the realm of possibility. Obviously, we're going to be looking strong at offensive line. The guards and centers are not really that good this year, but the left tackle position's got some what could be some pretty solid people that I may spend my entire 3 workouts on the left tackle side of the ball. We know a few edge rushers. I might take one, I might not. We know that Enrique Lopez is a top 5 talent. which is pretty cool. We don't need defensive tackle unless there's one sneaky down the board, maybe. I don't really know where else I want to do, what else I want to use these with. We know that there's a top 5 corner in Jason Hill. I'm intrigued about that, but I don't know if we'd be able to get him. We probably wouldn't be in a good position to get him. I may just use my 3 on the on the left tackles, so that we can know for sure how good some of these guys are. So if I select Jason Jones, Caleb Sabin, and Bryson LaPierre, we scout those 3 and figure out how good they are. So the free agency recap, we know McDuffie went to the Saints. We know that Tyler Smith went to the Saints. Saints spent so much money, it's crazy. They also got Rashee Rice. They got 3 of the top guys. That's what I was trying to do. The Titans got Ronnie Stanley. The Cardinals got Zay Flowers. Odafe Oweh goes to the Falcons. Tajay Spears goes to the Commanders. Van Ginkel also to the Titans. Trenton Simpson to the Titans. So the Titans, the Saints, the Commanders, and us are spending crazy amounts of money. Kayvon Thibodeau did not get picked up. Very interesting. We'll see if he ends up on a team or not. Maybe he ends up on our team. Who knows? Alvin Kamara didn't get picked up. Let's move to the actual draft because we got to take a look at the draft, mock draft number 5 and see what's going on here. So if we take a first look at the left tackle position, we know that Jason Jones is round 2 to 3 true talent. Sabin's around 2 to 3, but LaPierre is around 1 to 2. Interesting. Very, very interesting. We didn't scout Chase Nash, but LaPierre could be a guy we take if he falls to us. Mock draft number 5. The consensus number 1 overall pick seems to be, from mock draft number 3, it seems to be Denard Lindsey, the defensive tackle out of Texas Tech. And then Joshua Webster from Fresno State at quarterback to the Saints. Emmanuel Cologne to the Lions. Lions do have Dylan Gabriel, but it looks like they're going to look to upgrade that. Marco Daniels going to the Cowboys. Some good players in the top here. Jason Hill, 11 to the Texans. That's a top 5 corner we could lose. Enrique Lopez to the Saints. The Saints don't need anything else. There is Jason Jones and Caleb Sabin. And Bryson LaPierre is at 20. Also to the Saints, funny enough. Because they also traded a lot of their stuff this year. Here we are at 22. We could trade up. We could trade up for a left tackle if we needed to. It's not that far. 22 to 20 or possibly 19 is not that big of a deal. We could easily jump the Titans and get in position for Bryson LaPierre. And then if we have Bryson LaPierre alongside Danny Barrett, Trey Seatwright, we've got DeJuan Jones, and then Christian Dickinson, things could work out. I just don't know why they put Danny Barrett at right tackle. He's not going to play right tackle, trust me. He's going to be our center. Does it even say he's a right tackle? No, it says he's a center. I don't know why he's scheduled at the freaking right tackle position, but we'll fix that for the season starts. But we have Danny Barrett at center, Seatwright at guard, DeJuan Jones possibly at left tackle. We have Christian Dickinson at right guard, or another guard if we draft another offensive lineman, and then possibly LaPierre at right tackle. I could see a world where that makes a decent offensive line. I don't know. The draft is here, and this could be a game changer to see if we're going to go back-to-back or not. Let me do a little bit of scouting on some of these draft picks, put everybody in the favorites board, and then we can start drafting. It is finally time for the NFL draft. The year 2 draft is about to be here. I have gone through, I have done some scouting, put some people on the favorites board that I'm interested in, and basically got everything ready to go. So I don't see any other way than to get started. Although I do kind of want to check the mock draft one more time just to figure out a game plan of what we're going to be doing. So This is the top five, the consensus top five. Denard Lindsey at 1, Joshua Webster and Emmanuel Cologne, the two quarterbacks off the board at 2 and 3. Then Connor Clements, Marco Daniels, Jamie Ventura. So it looks like it's a run of defensive tackles after the 5 spot. I don't hate that. Adrian Horton going to team up with what's his name? The Cardinal dude from, was it Ole Miss? I forget what his name is. I'm blanking on his name. Whatever. That could be a nice pairing if Horton ends up being a good player. But it's a really long run of defensive tackles from 6 to 10. Defensive tackles are projected to go, which is pretty crazy. I don't think we don't need a defensive tackle, so I'm not super interested in a possible trade up in this spot. Jason Hill at number 11 would be the first guy that I think I might be willing to trade up for. I mean, his 6'4" corner that has top 5 true talent. How could I not be interested in that? Even though we did bring in Marlon Humphrey in free agency, I'm still interested in another young corner to pair with Matt Marshall. So Jason Hill could be a guy. DeMar Brooks also could be a guy. I'm really interested in corner this year. And we know Enrique Lopez is a top 5 talent. I'm certainly interested in trading up for him. Brandon Hendricks at corner as well. I'm really interested in trading up for a corner, I think. I think corner could be something we trade up for if we trade up in the first place. Then we could use an offensive lineman, but I don't know if any of these top offensive linemen are the move, unless it's Bryson LaPierre at 20, like how we have projected. I could see a world where we take LaPierre. Or we're not predicting, excuse me, I thought it was the Saints for a second. We're the Browns, we're at 22, trading up to 20 like we talked about earlier is not that big of a deal. So I could see a world where we trade up for LaPierre at 20. Stephen Green's down here, Corey Tulowitzki's down here. There's a lot of good players in this class. I don't see a world where we can make a trade up to the top 10, and I don't think I'd want to make a trade up to the top 10, but 11 is a possibility, 14 is a possibility, and so is 20. That is where we kind of stand right now. And if we go to our draft picks that we have, the draft picks that we currently hold are the 22nd overall pick, thanks to the Chargers, the 35th pick, thanks to that Taylor Lewan trade with the Detroit Lions. So that's a pretty early pick in the second round. It's like top 5, I think, in the second round. And then we have another second round pick, thanks to the Jaguars. Then we have 3 third-round picks, Jets, Rams, Jaguars, a 5, and a 7. That is all the picks that we have this year in the draft. We have a 1, we don't have a 2 next year, but we can make some things happen next year for draft picks if we need to. I believe that we don't have the capital to trade up, unfortunately. If we take a look at our cornerback room right now, we have Denzel Ward. We brought in Marlon Humphrey. We are thinking about trading Greg Newsome once the cap space and the cap hits all adjust on the other teams. We might be trading Greg Newsome. We have Will Johnson, we have Martin Emerson, and we have Matt Marshall. So that's 3 really young corners to pair with 2 veteran corners. So maybe we don't necessarily need a corner, but having a guy like Jason Hill I think would be pretty good because he's 6'4". I mean, we don't have anybody with that height. We have a couple guys that are 6'2", but paired with possible good speed, I mean, that could be a game changer at corner. And then at offensive tackle with LaPierre, we have DeJuan Jones currently. We have Christian Dickinson. But I don't know. I don't know if we have the tackle right now. I don't know if we do. So tackle's definitely a need, and LaPierre I think fits the bill. I could also see myself taking a receiver. I know that might seem a little weird, but I could see myself taking a receiver. We have Velasco coming off a suspension. We have Miguel Perez, who had a really good season. We have Traylon Burks, who we re-signed last year, the first year, and then Judy and Devontae Smith. But I could certainly see myself taking a receiver at some point in this draft as well. On the defensive side of things, I mean, we've got a good edge rushers. We don't really need an edge rusher unless there's somebody that falls to me. Defensive tackle we're good with. We have 3 defensive tackles, and they're all young, so we don't really need a defensive tackle there. Linebacker, I could definitely get talked into a linebacker, even though we signed DeMarvion Overshown. I could certainly see myself taking a linebacker. And then back to corner. Safety we don't necessarily need because I'm thinking about trading either Grant Delpit or Cole Bishop now that we have now that we have Kyle Hamilton, who we signed out of free agency. So I'm thinking about trading one of them possibly. There's a lot of moves that could be made. But it's time to start the NFL draft. Let's get it started here. The first overall pick, the Tennessee Titans. Will they take the consensus number 1? I guess we'll find out. Here we go. With the first pick in the NFL draft, the Tennessee Titans select Denard Lindsey. That is the consensus number 1. Everybody thought he was going to Tennessee. It was a foregone conclusion, and here he goes. 6'3", 305, nose tackle out of Texas Tech. I mean, he was a force to be reckoned with on both sides of the football last year. He played a little fullback even for Texas Tech last year, scoring both on offense and defense in the same game. He's a prototypical defensive tackle archetype at the next level. He's got the size, he's got the speed, he's got the strength, he's got superhuman strength. Ran a 4.95 at the combine, 46 reps in the bench press, first at the deep tackle position, just unreal strength. And he did choose to opt out of the Texas Tech bowl game, which could consider you could think is maybe a character concern or something, but maybe he was just trying to get to the NFL draft, get to the combine. I don't know, but the Texas Tech defensive tackle is a stud, and the Titans think they got themselves a beautiful, beautiful player. With the second overall pick, the New Orleans Saints are up, and they will select Enrique Lopez out of Florida. Okay, Enrique Lopez going to the Saints. I mean, this man is a freak. He's a top 5 player in this draft. He's phenomenal. Fantastic speed to power combination. Ran a 4.69 at the 40-yard dash at the combine. He was suspended 3 games last season for fighting with his teammate, tight end Marco Sierra. So they got into an argument, ended up having punches thrown. Marco and Enrique got suspended. Marco didn't get suspended. Enrique got suspended for the fight because he initiated it. He threw the first punch, all that kind of stuff. But so he may have some character concerns too, but he's got raw talent, he's got natural talent, and he looks like a duck in water when it comes to the edge rusher position. He looks like he could be an absolute menace to society, and the Saints got themselves a good one. They already loaded up in free agency with a couple of players, and now they get a good player at the top of the draft. The Detroit Lions are up next at number 3, and they will take Joshua Webster, the first quarterback off the board, and it is the quarterback out of Fresno State, 6'1", 224. He's a scrambler. He can move. He has a beautiful spiral on his passes. Throws a really tight spiral. He stands tall in that pocket, even though he is able to extend the play, move out of the pocket. He does like to stand tall, climb the pocket, and find his man down the field. He does well to avoid sacks. He can avoid pressure. He's really good at that. He loves to run and play outside. Even though he can stand tall, he can still move the structure of the play. He can extend plays, give his receivers time to find open space. He's got a lightning quick release. Almost ignores the lower half of the release because it just, boom, it comes out so quickly. Ran a 4.82 40-yard dash at the combine. He's got an elite NFL arm, and he's an overall fantastic athlete. And oh, by the way, he's the defending Heisman Trophy winner. So the Lions may have found their future franchise guy. They had Dylan Gabriel after they traded away Jared Goff. They're in a rebuild, and they might have got their guy right out the gates. So Joshua Webster, third pick in the draft, going to Detroit. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This was projected to be Emmanuel Cologne, I think, right? Or no, Enrique Lopez, I think, went a little bit higher. I think Webster was supposed to go to the Saints, and then Cologne was supposed to go to the Lions. So do the Bucs take Cologne? No! Is Cologne going to be falling? It's Connor Clements out of Colorado State. Connor Clements, 6'3", 270, speed rusher. He's a beast. Physical player who delivers bone-crushing hits. I mean, he makes you feel it the day after when he hits you. He often looks to strip the ball from the runner, from the ball carrier. He played high school basketball, so you just know he's a unit on the basketball court. He ran a 4.62 at the 40-yard dash. He can jump out of the gym. And he has a 36.1-inch vertical. I mean, are you kidding me? This kid is a freak. Some argue he should have stayed in basketball and went to the NBA, but he chose football, and he ends up being a top 5 pick in the 2027 NFL draft. Congratulations to him. Number 5, the Dallas Cowboys. They're up at number 5. Who will they take? It'll be Marco Daniels, the left edge from BYU, 6'3", 250, loves to utilize a spin as a counter move on the rush, will utilize his power and leverage to bull through pass protectors. He is not going to take any prisoners. He's going through you. He's not going to go around you. He's going to go through you. He sheds blocks at an elite level. A fantastic motor. This dude will play even beyond the whistle, beyond the refs trying to get to him and break up anything. He's an animal, basically. Marco Daniels is an animal. He ran a 4.76 40-yard dash at the combine, has elite acceleration. He can get up to his top speed at a fantastic level. He excels at chase down blocks and chase down tackles, gets to his top speed tremendously quick, and he's the first edge rusher in the combine at the 3-cone and 20-yard shuttle. So you know he's got that agility, he's got that athleticism, he's got that great change of direction. And the Cowboys might have found their future stud, their Micah Parsons replacement. I don't know. They still have Micah Parsons in this universe, but Micah Parsons, maybe he's going to get traded. He's a little unhappy, but Marco Daniels could replace him. At number 6, the Minnesota Vikings will take Jamie Ventura, the defensive tackle out of Oklahoma. 6'4", 309, just a physical player. He will get in there and he will eat up the double teams. He's just that traditional nose that's going to get in the middle of the offensive line and just suction up blockers. He has electric speed for the position, ran a 4.80 40-yard dash in the combine. He's got an NFL-ready build. He has a very high ceiling. And the Vikings, they got themselves a great player because this guy will free up spots for a possible Dallas Turner rush or for whoever else they may have on their defense at the time. Jamie Ventura is that type of player who will just sit in the middle, take up 2 blockers, maybe even 3 blockers at times, and absolutely free up space for somebody else. He's a great team player. At number 7, the Arizona Cardinals are on the clock, and they will take Adrian Horton. Here is our run on defensive tackles. We had Denard Lindsey go number 1, and now the rest of the D tackles are following a little bit later. Adrian Horton, 6'1", 295, out of Penn State. He's just like Jamie Ventura is a traditional nose tackle. He's going to be in the trenches. He's got explosive speed at the snap. He's just an electric type of player. Takes up a lot of space. He plays bigger than his size. He's only 6'1", 295, but he plays a lot bigger than that. He ran a 4.88 40-yard dash at the combine, got great speed. Could have health concerns at the next level, though. There is a little bit of a concern at that. He did miss full season 2 years ago with a torn ACL. So maybe that knee's good, maybe that knee's not good. I don't know, but the Cardinals pairing him alongside of Walter Nolan is his name. I remember it now. Walter Nolan and Adrian Horton could be a nice D-tackle duo for 10 years if Horton's able to stay healthy. But the Cardinals, they think they got themselves a good one. And we are seeing a tremendous fall for Emmanuel Cologne out of Arkansas. He was projected to go top 3, and he goes now, we're at number 8, and he still hasn't gotten taken yet. So we'll see if the Jets end up scooping him up right here. They could be in need of a quarterback. And this is where he goes. Emmanuel Cologne is headed to the Big Apple. It's a big change from the little state of Arkansas. But here comes Cologne, 6'1", 232, also has a very tight spiral. Both these quarterbacks this year throw a beautiful, beautiful ball. He's able to get rid of the pressure, or get rid of the ball at the first sign of pressure. He's got great improvisation skills and great awareness of what's around him. Does well to avoid the sack by throwing the ball away. He's not going to be one to just eat a sack because he doesn't have anything. He's going to get that ball away. Even if it does come at the expense of an intentional grounding call, he's going to get that ball away. He's not going to take many shots. Or at least he's not going to try to actively seek out contact. He does really well inside and outside the pocket. He's very mobile, can move a little bit. He's got a three-quarter fast, smooth throwing motion. Like I said, he throws that beautiful, beautiful ball. Ran a 4.79 40-yard dash in the combine, an NFL arm. He's got an NFL decision-making capabilities, and he, fun fact, is the first Cuban-born NFL player drafted since Louis Sharp in 1982. So congratulations to the Colon family for that tremendous accolade. And we'll see if Emmanuel Colon can bring the Jets out of the depths of despair that they currently sit in. And we come to number 9. Pick number 9, the Indianapolis Colts. Who are the Colts going to take? They go for Cesar Amaro. I don't have much information on Cesar Amaro, but he is a great player, I'm assuming, because he's top 10 pick. Then we go to number 10. The Denver Broncos take Keenan James. All right, so here is our big run of defensive tackles. We saw Denard go at number 1, and then Ventura and Horton go 6 and 7, and then now we have 2 straight here at 8, at 9 and 10. We bring to number 11, the Houston Texans are up, and they take the corner, Jason Hill. We kind of knew this was going to happen if we were trusting what the mock draft had to say. This was our first spot to trade up. I decided not to. We let the Texans draft, and they take Jason. He's 6'4", 182. I mean, this is the perfect build. You'd want to see him maybe put on a couple extra pounds of muscle, but the height is unbelievable. He can match up with any wide receiver in the NFL. He's tremendous with the ball in the air. He plays that aggressively. He's not going to let receivers bring that down on 50-50 balls. He plays very physical, but he does know how to avoid flags, so he can do a lot of hand fighting. He can get in there and get aggressive, but he knows the limit. He knows what the refs are going to call and what they're not going to call, what he can get away with, and he can play a little bit and not get called for a lot of penalties, even with his aggressive physical play. He's got long arms. He's a very lanky, long frame. That 6'4", 182 frame, I mean, that's long and lanky. So he's got long arms that can reach up there, swat the ball out. He can pretty much make any pass deflection that he needs to. He ran a 4.37 40-yard dash in the combine, first at the cornerback position. I mean, when you're running 4.3 speed in college, that's going to translate to the NFL regardless of if you can play corner or not. You can learn the position of corner, but if you have that speed, you can't teach that kind of speed. 4.3 speed's insane. So Jason Hill is going to be a menace. He excels at all aspects of the quarterback position, and he may be the best overall player in this draft, regardless of position. So he's a true top 5 player, and the Texans got him at 11. What a steal for the Houston Texans. Next up is number 12, the Washington Commanders. What could they be needing? They take DeMar Brooks out of West Virginia. DeMar is a great player, 6', 183. He does have a younger brother in this draft in Deion Brooks out of West Virginia as well, a wide receiver. We'll see him maybe a little bit later in this draft. But he's got a nose for the football. He goes after the ball like crazy. He excels at the Peanut Tillman punch to force fumbles. He's a great player at that, one of the best in West Virginia history at forcing fumbles at the cornerback position. Ran a 4.4 40-yard dash at the combine. Not as fast as Jason Hill, but still electrically fast. He's got great cover skills, but he does have speed concerns with 4.4 speed, still being fast, not as fast as Jason Hill. So will those wide receivers in the NFL be able to abuse it? I don't know. Those could come up as concerns later. He does also have possible size concerns, being 6', 183. Who knows? We'll see how he translates to the next level. But he can keep up with most NFL receivers. Maybe not the DK Metcalfs or the Eddie Venturas type of guy, or Eddie Velasco type of players, but he can keep up with a few NFL wide receivers, and he's a good player. He's experienced. He played a lot at West Virginia. He knows how to play the cornerback position. So the Commanders, they think they got a good player. At number 13, the Vegas Raiders. God, am I 60? The Oakland Raiders. Why did I just did it again? The Las Vegas Raiders. Maybe I should just relocate them to Oakland. The Las Vegas Raiders are up at 13. Who are they going to grab? And they take another corner, so we got a little bit of a run on cornerbacks. Brandon Hendricks from UCF. You don't see a lot of UCF corners going in the NFL, but 6 foot 201. He seems like he's got a lot of skill. He excels in the slot. He had 8 interceptions just last season alone from that slot position. He can also play the boundary. He's a great all-around type of player. Did play baseball in high school, which is a nice little footnote because he got drafted out of high school by the Los Angeles Dodgers. He ended up declining, not going to play baseball. He just chose to stick to football, and it ends up paying off because he ends up being a top 15 pick in the NFL draft. Good for him. Ran a 4.38 at the 40-yard dash, so again, electric speed. He sees the field at a very high level, very high IQ football player, very well adjusted at the quarterback position, can really tell what the quarterback's going to do, and he can see the field very well. He's got a ball hawk mindset, goes for that football, intercepts a lot of passes, very aggressive, but that could also be a detriment to his skill because he might be thinking, oh, I'm going to go for this interception, I'm going to grab this interception, and then he gets burned in the end. That could be a possibility. So it's a very double-edged sword for Brandon Hendricks, but when he makes that play, he is a god at making those type of plays. He can take back pick sixes. He's got that type of speed. He's a great player, and the Raiders got themselves a good one. The Saints are up next. They've got 2 more first-round picks in this draft because of their ability to sell off their players they had earlier in the season. This now comes back to see if they can make these good decisions. Here come the Saints at 14. They select Darren Graves, so they get themselves an edge rusher and they get themselves a defensive tackle to really shore up that defense after already signing Rashee Rice and others in free agency. The Saints could be a problem next year. The Giants at 15. They will take Cole Beard. A lot of defensive tackles go in this draft. I mean, it was projected to be one of the best defensive tackle classes in the NFL in recent history, and we're seeing that in full force here. We've seen how many defensive tackles go? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 7 defensive tackles have gone so far in the first 15 picks. I mean, these teams are on a run of defensive tackles. They think they got their guys. At 16, the LA Rams, will grab themselves Trayvon Franklin out of the University of Michigan. This guy is a beast. I mean, he's fantastic. If Denard Lindsey wasn't the best defensive tackle in this class, it could be Trayvon Franklin. He's 6'4", 310, played alongside Eric Ramirez on Michigan's defensive line for a year before Eric left for the NFL draft last year. And they were a dominant force, absolutely dominant force. Nobody wanted to run inside on these two guys. He's got tremendous awareness. He knows what's going on from the get-go. He knows how to make people miss the blocks. He knows how to get around people. He can get small. He can do all kinds of stuff. He did set the record for the most pass deflections in a single season just by jumping up and getting that big bear paw up on the football on these quarterbacks, swatting them down from the line of scrimmage. He's a menace. He also has a 4.84 40-yard dash in the combine, a 34.8-inch vertical, so you know he's climbing the ladder to swat those balls away, and he's unbelievably agile. He can move with the quickness that is actually scary because he can get side to side really quickly. He's explosive off the ball. He is a fantastic defensive tackle, and the Rams might have gotten themselves a steal at the 16th spot. Number 17, the Pittsburgh Steelers are up, and the Pittsburgh Steelers will grab themselves Chris Nash, the first offensive tackle going in the NFL draft. That's good to see. We see Chris Nash going from Notre Dame, 6'5", 307, and he might be the most complete prospect in this draft. I mean, this guy, get a load of this guy. Excels at all aspects of blocking. I mean, he's a true day one starter. He started all 4 years at Notre Dame at that left tackle position. An elite athlete, ran a 4.94 40-yard dash. Just a fantastic player. Can jump out of the gym. Did play 4 years of college basketball alongside the 4 years of Notre Dame football and won 2 national championships. One with Notre Dame basketball, one with Notre Dame football. This man is a winner. He's a purebred, just natural winner. He doesn't lose. And going to the Pittsburgh Steelers, who has a history and a tradition of winning, maybe he's that last puzzle piece that the Pittsburgh Steelers need to get themselves back in the Super Bowl. We'll see what happens. Hopefully not for us because we're in that same division. But here come the 18th pick. The Miami Dolphins are up, and the Miami Dolphins grab themselves Jason Jones. Here come the left tackles. Here come the left tackles. We see Jason Jones go out of Washington, 6'6", 310, generational type of prospect. Explosive drop step. He will get to the drop step a half a second before the edge rusher gets there. He's got an explosive ability to do that. He did not allow a sack in his entire career. Think about that. Did not allow a sack his entire career at Washington. A 4-year starter, ran a 4.87 40-yard dash, has a very high football IQ. One of the smartest players you will ever talk to, knows the game at a tremendously high level. And he really has no obvious weaknesses. He can run block. He can pass block. He can do everything you need him to do. He is a franchise left tackle. And the Miami Dolphins got him at 18. Congratulations to them. Number 19, the Jacksonville Jaguars are up, and they will grab themselves Caleb Saban. Caleb Saban goes out of Ole Miss, 6'4", 319, a tremendous motor, very well disciplined. He's very quick on his feet, very light on his feet as well. So he's not going to be walking around with those heavy footsteps. He's not going to be sluggishly moving from play to play. Not going to be slow in his movements from left tackle to get the blocks. He's very quick. A true locker room leader type. He will get the guys motivated. He will do everything he needs to do to get the guys ready to go. But he ran a 5.23 40-yard dash, so he's not the fastest guy we've ever seen come out of the left tackle position, but he makes up for it because he is a very, very, very talented player. Is not the most physically gifted, but he's a tremendously hard worker. He will do any job you ask, and he will do it at the highest level he physically can. He's a great player, and the Jaguars might have got themselves somebody here. And now we get up to number 20, and this is where the Browns might consider their first real attempt at a trade-up, because Bryson LaPierre, the left tackle out of Washington State, is projected to go here. Do we make a trade with the New Orleans Saints to try and grab a possible left tackle of the future, or right tackle of the future, depending on where we want to play him at? I don't know. We can certainly explore those options if we ask the Saints. I mean, look at the Saints roster now. They already had Aiden Hutchinson from last year's free agency. They bring in Tyler Smith, Rashee Rice, and Trent McDuffie, along with the draft picks they've already made. I think it's safe to say the Saints have completed their rebuild. They just need to get their quarterback, which we don't know if they actually have. They've got Justin Fields, Spencer Rattler, and Tyler Shuck. That might be holding them back a little bit. But for right now, the rest of their team outside of the quarterback position looks like it's the real deal. But if we talk about draft picks here, number 20, and we try to trade up to number 20 from number 22, I think this could be possible. Okay, it's very close already. I really do think this is what we need to do. We need to move from 20 to 22. I could give them Shedeur Sanders, but Justin Fields is already a 78 overall. He's higher overall than them. Maybe if I give them Donovan Edwards, because I don't really need Donovan Edwards anymore. And that is done. So we move from 22 to 20. We're getting aggressive. This is our time to make our pick. And I think we know where we're going. We could go a couple different directions. I like James Miller out of Miami. I like the wide receivers. I like Stephen Green from Colorado. But I think there's one clear option, and that is Bryson LaPierre out of Washington State. He's a freak. He's a tremendous player. I really do think this could be a big pickup for us, and we are going to select him. So with the 20th overall pick in the NFL draft, the Cleveland Browns select Bryson LaPierre from Washington State. Welcome aboard, young man. 6'6", 316, originally born in France, but came over here via the International Player Program, came over to the United States, was enrolled at Washington State. He also was a youth soccer player when he was younger, enrolled at the Paris Saint-Germain youth soccer program, was a tremendous young athlete there. Great player, great soccer player, but then got a little bit of a growth spurt, you could say, and became 6'6", 316, so he decided, you know what, European soccer's great, European football, but we need to move you to American football. And he excelled. He only played football for 3 years. He's only played football at Washington State for 3 years. That's all he's been. But he ended up becoming a first-round pick and somebody that we thought was good enough to trade up for. Ran a 5.18 40-yard dash. Fantastic player, very good strength, very mobile, as you can tell from his ability to play soccer. He still kept that mobility as he got bigger and bigger, and he ends up being a hidden dev. Very excited about that. So now we have Christian Dickinson, we have DeJuan Jones, and we also have, we also have Bryson LaPierre. We'll see if that ends up translating to another Super Bowl. Who knows? The Titans are up at number 21. We'll see who they take. With the 21st overall pick, the Tennessee Titans take Tom Merritt. The last of the big left tackles are off the board. And Tom Merritt could be the best of the bunch. 6'6", 319, out of Louisville. He did play right tackle in college, but he profiles better at left tackle in the NFL. He played a little bit of left tackle in college, but he was mostly a right tackle for most of his career at Louisville. He's got a nice balance of size and agility. He was a two-time team captain for Louisville. He is childhood best friends with Cleveland Brown defensive tackle Keelan Hazelton. They grew up together. They spent a lot of time around each other. Their moms were best friends. So these two knew each other a lot. They played together, obviously, on the same Louisville team. And now he goes to Tennessee to play against his best friend. Ran a 4.81 40-yard dash. It was the first at the position at left tackle. Unreal athletically, and he has an exceptional motor and plays through the whistle. Fantastic player, and the Titans got themselves another beast, who they also had the number 1 overall pick. We'll see if they can get those two to work together and be a nice W of a draft. Here come the Saints at 22 after trading down from 20 with your Cleveland Browns. They now pick at 22, and they will grab themselves Ruben Brooks, the center from Notre Dame, teammates alongside Chris Nash, and also roommates with Chris Nash. National champion center, tremendous power for the position, really strong guy, really smart, really high football IQ. I mean, he's got going for his doctorate as well, so he's a fantastically smart player, and he knows how to play the center position at the highest of high levels. Ran 5.2 40-yard dash, and he's a very well-rounded blocker. He doesn't do anything like super amazingly, but he is really well-rounded. He can block, he can pass block, run block, he can throw pancakes if need be. I mean, he's just a tremendous player. So the Saints end up with Enrique Graves, with Enrique Lopez, Darren Graves, and Ruben Brooks as their 3 first-round picks so far. 2 on the defense, 1 on the offensive line. I think the Saints are winning the draft right now. Here come the Minnesota Vikings with their 2nd first-round pick. They already took Jamie Ventura at 6. Who will they take at number 23? They go Josh Wilson. Josh Wilson from Oregon. I mean, he was fantastic. 6'3", 318. This guy is great. He blocked for the 2 running backs in this draft from Oregon. He's a great player. He's a good college lineman. He might need a little bit of refinement at the next level, though. He knows how to play the position, but he doesn't know how to play the position at the highest of high levels, kind of like a Ruben Brooks type. He's got all the tools needed to succeed. He just needs a good offensive line coach or a good coaching staff in general to build him and mold him into what the potential says can be maybe the best center in the league. He's got elite change of direction. He ran a 5.06 40-yard dash at the combine. He led the way for Harper and Presley, the 2 running backs out of Oregon, as Oregon made their way to the playoffs. And he doesn't make many mistakes, even though he's kind of inexperienced in the position and doesn't excel tremendously. He doesn't make many mistakes. He doesn't hold. He doesn't lose blocks. He doesn't do a lot of that stuff. He can really play. Just needs that help finishing him off, basically, at the next level. So he goes to Minnesota. They go defensive line and offensive line. Here come the Baltimore Ravens at 24. And the Baltimore Ravens take Steven Green. I mean, that's a huge pickup. The Baltimore Ravens, they needed edge rusher, and they got an edge rusher. Steven Green, 6'6", 267, out of Colorado. Transferred from Alabama to play for Coach Prime. Really wanted to play for Deion Sanders, and he said, you know what, I'll give up my spot at Alabama to go dominate at Colorado for Coach Prime. He was high school teammates with Enrique Lopez at the IMG Academy in Florida. So these 2 guys know each other, they're friends, and they were 2 of the most dominant players at IMG that they've ever seen. These two guys are freaks, and Stephen Green might be more freakier than Enrique Lopez. And we were saying all that stuff about how Enrique Lopez is a top 5 player. Stephen Green could be just that same thing, maybe even better. He's got a swift arm-over move in his arsenal to rush the passer and to get by the offensive lineman. He's exceptional at finding the gap in the offensive line. He can find the A gap, he can find the B gap, he can find the C gap, he can find all the gaps at a tremendous level. Ran a 4.61 40-yard dash, the fastest at the edge rusher position, the left edge position, or as the edge rusher position in general. He's got elite strength. He put up 38 reps at the bench press at the combine. I mean, talk about strength from your edge rusher. He will bulldoze you or run past you. He can do either. He's a great player, and the Ravens got a good one. The Patriots at 25, they will take themselves Corey Tulowitzki. This one is a very, very fun one. Corey Tulowitzki is the nephew of baseball legend, I guess you could say, baseball legend Troy Tulowitzki. So he's already got that athleticism heritage. He's got that bloodline going because Troy Tulowitzki was a fantastic shortstop in the major leagues, and now his nephew, Corey, ends up coming out of Texas A&M, 6'1", 249, really good mix of speed and power. He processes information at an elite level, playing that Sam linebacker spot. Forced the most fumbles in the country last year, very well disciplined, ran a 4.54 40-yard dash, has elite speed for the position. And we'll see if that skill set can translate to the next level. I feel like it will be able to. And it's a very fun story seeing Troy Tulowitzki's nephew come to the NFL and now play for the Patriots. We'll see what happens there. At number 26, the Buffalo Bills are up, and the Buffalo Bills take Juan Baca out of Colorado, teammates with Stephen Green, and I mean, these guys together were unstoppable. It doesn't get much better than Stephen Green and Juan Baca as a combination at Colorado. He is built like a linebacker, but he has the instincts of a corner. This guy can do really anything. He's a savvy defender with the ball in the air. He can go back, he can drop back in coverage, and he can do all those kind of things you need him to do because he's got those cornerback instincts, but he can also rush the passer at a high level. He's a physical freak. Ran a 4.59 40-yard dash. Fantastic speed for the position. Very versatile. Can play all over the field. Can play all the linebacker spots. Even at 6'3", 243, you might get crazy and drop him back to safety. I mean, he can play everything. He's a very, very versatile player. You can put him anywhere on the field, and he's going to excel. That's kind of the player that Juan Baca is. So, the Buffalo Bills getting a stud at 26. The Falcons at 27, they will grab themselves Jamie Holloman out of the quarterback position. We don't know much information on him, but he is a presumably good player. Packers at 28, they will grab themselves Matthias Ramirez from Clemson, 6'2", 226, will linebacker with very raw talents. He's got all the tools, just needs the right coaching staff. Very similar to Josh Wilson in how he has all the right tools, just needs the right staff to put him all together, put the right package together, and give Matthias Ramirez that chance to be one of the best linebackers in the NFL. He's very much a work in progress. But you know what? He was recruited by Dabo Swinney at Clemson, so he's got to have some sort of skill. Dabo doesn't just recruit scrubs. Dabo is going for guys that he knows are going to end up being NFL players, and Matthias has got that potential, just needs a little bit more work. Ran a 4.68 40-yard dash. Arguably, his camp was telling him to come back to college for another season, but he decided to make the decision to go to the NFL. We'll see if that ends up paying out, or if he'll crash and burn. Elite agility, really no wasted movement though. You think a guy that is very raw would kind of be erratic and really not know where to move his body on the football field. He doesn't waste any movements. Matthias Ramirez is a very smart guy, very, very well knowledgeable, knows how to move his body, doesn't waste stamina, does not waste energy. He's a very, very calculated player, and he can really, really do some damage if he's able to put it all together. At 29, the Vegas Raiders are up again with their second of 3 first-round picks. They already took Brandon Hendricks, and now at 29, they will grab Marion Dodson. And this, ladies and gentlemen, might be my favorite player. Marion Dodson, out of Oklahoma State, 6 foot, 238. He's made himself immortal in college football. He's known as the Cocaine Cowboy. He was suspended 3 separate times for violating the substance abuse policy at both for the NCAA and Oklahoma State. He was arrested on the night of the Oklahoma State Big 12 Conference Championship win for cocaine possession. And that's obviously where he's known for the Cocaine Cowboy. Also, he plays like he's on cocaine when he's on the football field. This guy is a menace. 4.45 40-yard dash, an elite athlete, often referred to as the quarterback of the defense, playing that Mike linebacker spot. He will tell you where to go, and if you don't listen, he'll get up in your face mask, he'll grab the face mask, and he will scream at you to tell you where to go. He's a very abrasive personality, but that kind of comes with the territory when you're one of the best Mike linebackers in college football, even with those suspensions. So we'll see if the Cocaine Cowboy can take it to the next level here in Vegas. I mean, it fits perfectly. The Cocaine Cowboy going to Vegas, we'll see if that match is made in heaven or not. The Chiefs at number 30. Who are they going to grab? They take Julius Moorhead, a cornerback, at number 30. Good for them. 31, the Chicago Bears, runner-ups in the Super Bowl, take Thaddeus Williams. And Thaddeus Williams, I mean, this guy, he's amazing. An edge rusher out of UCF, 6'3", 280, finished 4th in the Heisman voting this year. Just let that sink in a little bit. He finished 4th in the Heisman voting as a defensive edge. Very, very talented player. He's the all-time sack leader at UCF. He had 28 sacks and 44 QB pressures last year alone. He lives in the backfield. He's explosive at the snap. Ran a 4.71 40-yard dash. He's got phenomenal strength. He's a tremendous athlete. And he actually currently has an offer with the WWE ID program to possibly become a WWE superstar. So this dude not only has NFL aspirations, we'll see what he chooses to do now that he's been drafted, if he chooses to decline that offer from the WWE. But Thaddeus Williams, being down in Orlando, caught the eye of the higher-ups at the WWE, and they thought he was a great enough athlete to offer him this contract or this offer. So I'm assuming Thaddeus will choose the NFL, but he's a great prospect, just a tremendous athlete, really, really talented. And the Vegas Raiders are up, final pick of the first round. They've already taken Brendan Hendricks and Marion Dodson. Who will they grab next? They will take Ethan Lacy, Sam linebacker from South Carolina. Good for them. And now we get to the second round. This is where things could get crazy. The Titans are up first, 33rd pick in the NFL draft. They take Joe Valdez, a center. They need a center. So they got interior defensive line and they got interior offensive line. And the Saints are up next at 34. They will grab Tyrell Whitfield, a left edge from Northwestern. And that brings up your Cleveland Browns again. The Cleveland Browns are up. All the wide receivers are on the board. We could certainly take one of the wide receivers. We also have Grant Harper here and Taylor Presley. But now that we have Jonathan Taylor, I'm not necessarily in the market for a running back, especially with Bashal Tutin as well. We could take a wide receiver here. We could take another tight end. Maybe go center for Jose Santos and pair him alongside at guard. We could pair him alongside with the guys that we already have at the center and guard position. We could take a corner, a safety. We possibly could use a safety with the possible trade of Grant Delpit or Cole Bishop. So one of those guys. And Marshall Heck and Ron Carnegie can play both free safety and strong safety, so they're very versatile there. Or we go linebacker. We don't necessarily need a linebacker, and since a lot of the top linebackers are gone, We don't necessarily need one. I think I'm either going to go, and I do like this possible Brandon Sampson type player. He could be a guy for us in the second round at the guard position. I think he might be a better fit than Jose Santos. But do I want to go wide receiver here? Wide receiver is not necessary, but it wouldn't hurt. Just trying to figure out if the offensive line is as big of a need as it has to be. Do we double up on offensive linemen and go either Santos or Sampson? I think I'm going to go Brandon Sampson. I know he's projected round 3 to 4, but I really want to get that. I really want to get that offensive line figured out, and he looks really, really good too. Looks fantastic. I really want to get this offensive line figured out. That way, Christian Dickinson is even more of a versatile type player. I think Brandon Sampson's our guy. I know it might be a little bit of a reach round 3 to 4, but I mean, he's got great attributes. He's great physically. I think this might be our guy in the second round here, and we will take him. Out of Michigan State, he is a fantastic player. Processes blitzes quickly and effectively. Quick feet, strong hands in the pass protection. Won't be overwhelmed by the power at the next level. A tremendous player. A fantastic guard. He's a tremendous pass blocker. He's fairly solid in the run game, but he's more of a pass blocking type of guard. And he has hidden development. 6'4", 314 from Michigan State. Very excited about Brandon Sampson. We hit on both of our offensive line picks. I'm happy about that. We need to work on this offensive line, and Brandon Sampson could help us in doing that. We also have a second round pick, number 51, so we can get to that. At 36, Tampa Bay will take James Miller, the first wide receiver off the board, and boy howdy, is this man fast. This man is unreal with the speed. He excels at the 50-50 balls. Even being 5'11", 186, he can climb the ladder with the best of them. Similar to another wide receiver on this class, James Miller can climb the ladder. Great body control at the sidelines, nicknamed Hoover because he sucks up everything around him like a Hoover vacuum. He will not drop passes. He is a freak. He's a tremendous route runner. Like I said, he's got elite speed. Ran a 4.24 40-yard dash. Talk about a blur. This guy is phenomenal. Fantastic hands. He won the Biletnikoff last year, and he filled Diego Alonso's shoes very well. So Miami might be producing wide receivers at a high level. They had Diego Alonso go first round last year. James Miller now goes early second round this year. Fantastic player. The Bucs got themselves a freak. The Cowboys are up at 37, and they will take Josh Batista, a will linebacker. The Vikings at 38 grab Robbie Campbell, another wide receiver off the board out of Notre Dame. He may be small at 5'8", 183, but he does not drop anything. Legit track speed. He avoids the big hits. He's a very small player at 5'8", 183. He played in the slot a lot at Notre Dame, and he can avoid those big hits. Even with hospital ball type throws, he can maneuver his body to avoid those hits, and does very well at doing that. Very well coached, smart, disciplined player. Does not get many flags. Ran a 4.25 40-yard dash. So him and James Miller, I mean, they are 1A, 1B in terms of speed. Ran track in high school and college. He did attempt to qualify for the Olympics. Didn't make it, but even the possibility of qualifying, like attempting to qualify, is crazy. Even though he didn't make the Olympics, just the audacity to do it in the first place. He's a great route runner as well. He's just a fantastic player. And the Vikings, they traded away Justin Jefferson, so now they bring in Robbie Campbell to pair alongside Jordan Addison. We'll see if that matchup and that duo can run the league for a while. The Cardinals at 39, they will take Jose Santos, a guy that we thought about taking at 35, out of Tennessee, 6'1", 302. Very agile center. He maybe could be the steal of the draft. So maybe we miss out on him. I don't know. Very flexible, can play all the interior positions, can play guard, can play center, maybe even play a little tackle, but he's probably too small for the tackle spot at 6'1". But he started as a walk-on at Tennessee, and he ended up being a team captain, starter, and the leader of that offensive line for the Volunteers. Ran a 5.16 40-yard dash at the combine. He plays like he's got a chip on his shoulder, and he really owns that. He's kind of like a Baker Mayfield type of player. Plays with that chip on his shoulder, knows that he was kind of undervalued, underutilized, underlooked when he was coming into college, didn't get highly recruited, and ends up being a walk-on at Tennessee, ends up starring for them as their star piece in the interior, and gets drafted high second-round pick. I think that's really worth it. He's not ready to be a starter right now, but I'm assuming drafted in the second round, the Cardinals don't think he's going to be a starter. Maybe he will end up being, but who knows? Who knows if they'll put him at starter or not? It's really up to them if they've done their scouting or not. And at number 40, the New York Jets are up next. Daniel McDonald goes, edge rusher out of Alabama. At 41, the Colts take Dennis Kirkpatrick, and now the edge rushers are starting to go off the board even more. Out of USF, Broncos at 42 will take Derek Fredrickson, a center, another offensive line pick taken. Jacob Contreras, a running back, the first running back off the board, goes to the Texans, trying to replace Nick Chubb, maybe fill in for Woody Marks at times. We'll see what he's got. Washington Commanders up at 44. They take Marco Sierra, tight end from Florida. We talked about him briefly because he was the one who got in the fight with Enrique Lopez at Florida in the locker room. He's 6'5", 258. He has the prototype NFL tight end build. If you're building a tight end, you build Marco Sierra. That's what you do. He's got the muscle, he's got the athleticism, he's got the height. He is an above-average blocker, but he's really more of a vertical threat down the field, 2-on-1. He's going to go up and get that football. That's the type of player he is. He excels at the red zone targets. Being the size that he is, he's obviously going to be really, really good at the red zone opportunities. Dominates in 50-50 opportunities. Ran a 4.5 40-yard dash, so he's blazing fast for the tight end position. Elite speed for the position. Tremendous overall athlete. Great player. And we know he's got a little bit of a mean streak because he can fight back on Enrique Lopez. He goes at 44 to the Commanders. The Vegas Raiders are back up at 45, and they take Grant Harper, another running back off the board. And he is one of the dynamic duo at Oregon. He's a physical runner. He protects the ball, does not fumble very often, even through heavy contact. Fights for every single inch as a runner. He excels at creating yards after contact. He will look for that contact, and he will run through it and getting more yards after that. Ran a 4.48 40-yard dash, very strong. He's got a strong lower body. Those leg muscles, those calves, those hamstrings, he's like tree trunks. Think of Saquon Barkley type of lower body. This guy, Grant Harper's got that similar type of build. He's not going to be easy to tackle. Arm tackles aren't going to get the job done with a guy like Grant Harper. He's built like a Mack truck, but he's also got fantastic speed for the position. So think about a Mack truck going 120 down the highway. That's kind of what Grant Harper brings to the table out of Oregon. At number 46, the Cincinnati Bengals are up, and they will take Miles Whitfield from Texas Tech. He's 5'8", so him and Robbie Campbell share that lack of height. But what they make up for or what they lose in height, they make up for in their tremendous ability to play the wide receiver position. I mean, they've been small for their entire lives, including Miles Whitfield, and he's learned to accept the fact that he's 5'8" and he's not going to have a growth spurt. But he is a great wide receiver. Great body control at the sideline. Fights for every single yard as a runner. Once he catches those passes, he's going to not give up until you physically move him to the ground. He's a scrappy player. No issues climbing the ladder, even with his size. Despite being 5'8", he will climb that ladder and he will moss the best corners in the league. He did that at Notre Dame, or did this at Texas Tech countless times. Excels at creating yards after the catch, not afraid of contact. You may think he's slight of frame, he's going to be shy and not go after contact. He will run after you. 4.36 40-yard dash. He's a locker room leader. Tremendous jumping ability. He did win his high school dunk contest 3 years in a row. So this guy, being 5'8", he will jump out of the gym and slam dunk on you as he's mossing you for a touchdown catch. Miles Whitfield is a freak. And the Bengals add him to an already loaded wide receiver room with Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. Maybe that means T. Higgins or Jamar Chase is on the way out in Cincinnati. Who knows? The Giants at 47 will take Caleb Marshall, another really good player from Miami. Caleb Marshall headed to the New York Giants. And this guy, he's all over the field. Pass coverage type, will linebacker, 6 foot, 230. He called defensive plays even at the will linebacker spot for 2 years at Miami. He does struggle to play the ball in the air at times, but he's got a very good knowledge of how to use his leverage against offensive linemen. So he might what he doesn't have at the drop back in the coverage, he makes up for as a pass rusher. He can still cover a little bit at the next level, but will it translate fully? We don't know yet. He ran a 4.69 40-yard dash. He broke his arm during the college football playoffs, so maybe that could keep him out, and that's probably why he fell to the second round here, because he does have the makings of a first-round pick or possibly high second-round pick, but falling to middle second round, we'll see if that affects the broken arm affected him or not. And he excels to his top speed at an elite level, so he'll get to his top speed very, very quickly. And the Giants, they got a good player. He might not need to start right away with the Giants linebacking room that they have, but if he does, I think he could be a good player as long as that arm is healthy. At 48, the Detroit Lions take Tremaine Hackett, a big-time wide receiver from Clemson. The Steelers grab themselves at 49, Keith McMillan, another running back off the board. So the other running back for the Oregon Ducks is still on the table in Taylor Presley. 50, the Dolphins grab Nick Green, a strong safety. Okay, and here we are. Our second round pick. Jeff Neal is still a possibility. He's a great player at Ole Miss. We could use him alongside Conrad Scholes, who we took last year. We could take Kyle Widmer, who's a corner. He's got 2 to 3 true talent. That could be a guy for us. Deion Brooks, the brother of DeMar Brooks, 6'6", 206. So very lanky, just like Jason Hill was, although he's taller than Jason Hill. But he's got first round talent, I would assume. I don't know for sure, but he could have first round. I mean, 6'6", 206. You got to have first round talent, right? I guess you don't have to, but I'm leaning towards Kyle Widmer. He's the only guy that we actually have fully scouted, and I've been talking about grabbing a corner for a while now. Kyle Widmer could be that guy. 4.4 speed. I kind of like him. He doesn't have to start right away, but Kyle Widmer, I think, is going to be my second round pick. With the, what pick are we? With the 19th pick in the second round, I forget exactly what pick this is. The Cleveland Browns select Kyle Widmer out of Virginia. And there's a fun, interesting story that goes along with Kyle Widmer. He's a very promising prospect. Does the little things very, very well. Does have a history of avoidable penalties, though, so he makes dumb decisions at times. It's a very weird dichotomy with Kyle Widmer. He does the little things very well, but he makes weird mistakes at times. So we'll have to try to avoid that in the future. Ran a 4.48 40-yard dash to the combine. A 38.7-inch vertical is insane. He did transfer from Louisville to Virginia because he played with Jason Hill, but they actually had a falling out because Kyle Widmer, he slept with Jason Hill's sister, and Jason found out. Kyle ended up getting attacked by Jason. They had to be separated. Jason said that you can't be on Louisville anymore. He kind of forced Kyle to transfer. Kyle ends up leaving. He goes to Virginia. He ends up balling out in his final season at Virginia, but him and Jason Hill have a little bit of a history. So we'll see if that translates to anything in the NFL. They both play the same position, so can't really see that on the field, but maybe on Twitter. Who knows? But Kyle Widmer is a Cleveland Brown. He fits perfectly with what we're trying to build here in Cleveland. A person who sleeps with his best friend's sister. That's what I'm talking about. He is only normal dev, but he's got really good speed. He's a great athlete, and we can fix that. Matt Marshall had normal dev, and in one season, we turned him into a star player. So we can do the same with Kyle Widmer, hopefully. I like him a lot. And that is our second round done. That is our second round done. I don't think we're going to trade into the second round at all. Taylor Presley ends up going to the Saints. So the second of the two Oregon running backs, the dynamic duo, goes to New Orleans to possibly replace an aging Alvin Kamara. We don't know, but he's 6'1", 226. He split time with Grant Harper, obviously. He shows really good ball security, but he does need to improve at that area. He's got decent ball security, but he can have a fumble every once in a while. He does have a concentration problem. There's a reason that Oregon chose to go with a 2 running back system and not a strictly Taylor Presley. Does well to avoid contact after catching the ball out of the backfield. He excels at creating yards after contact. He is explosive bursts out of the backfield. He will put that foot in the ground and he will boom, and you'll be like, where'd he go? And he will be already 15, 20 yards down the field. Ran a 4.39 40-yard dash at his pro day. Sneaky strong, great hands for a running back, really good pass catcher. And the Saints, I mean, they have a need at quarterback, but there's not really any more quarterbacks left on the board that willing to take. So taking the next position down, running back, could help them, whatever quarterback they end up getting, which is either Justin Fields or whoever they have already. Maybe Taylor Presley can help that quarterback develop. 53, the Tennessee Titans take Blake Bentley, a left edge. The Patriots are up taking Jared Jarrett. That's a great name. The Vikings take Sheldon Samuels at 55, a cornerback. The Ravens take Rod Carnegie. Finally, one of the strong safeties goes off the board. And Rod Carnegie, I told you when we were possibly drafting him, he's a very flexible player. Can play free safety, strong safety, can do both. He's a run support type of guy, 6'2", 206, arguably the hardest hitting player in the draft. And that's saying something because you got some really hard hitting edge rushers, some defensive tackles, linebackers. But Rod Carnegie might be the most hard hitting of them all. All his coaches that we talked to in the draft process, in the scouting process, say that he's the smartest player they've ever been around. He knows the field like no other. He knows how to play the position. He knows the game of football better than most people. Tremendous blitzer, looks like a natural on the field. Ran a 4.62 40-yard dash, has phenomenal instincts, and a tremendous closing speed. So if he's playing 15 yards off the ball and a receiver catches it, he will get there, boom, before the receiver even knows what's going on. So Rod Carnegie, and the Ravens needed to replace Kyle Hamilton after we signed him in free agency. I think they did just that. Rod Carnegie could be a freak. At 57, the New England Patriots take Darren Sarah, a running back, maybe to possibly pair up with Travion Henderson. The Saints will grab themselves Zach Grant, another corner. The Saints are building a crazy team right now. I mean, they have so many draft picks, and they are using them, presumably, in a really, really efficient way. The Falcons, at number 59, take Devin Ford, a wide receiver. The Packers will grab Zach Noel, running back from UCLA. And, I mean, Zach Noel, talk about an absolute beast. This guy is great. He's absolutely fantastic, but there is a catch with Zach Noel. He does lose a lot of fumbles. Think Ramondre Stevenson. He fumbles a lot. He gets careless with the football because he's so confident in his abilities that he gets careless with the ball. He never had a problem at the goal line dropping the ball before he crosses. That's not his problem. He just gets careless with the football sometimes, forgets to grip it as tightly as he needs to, and defenses take advantage of that more times than not. He's had a fumbling problem in college, but the positive, he is an explosive route runner out of the backfield. He is phenomenal. One of the best route running running backs we've ever seen in the draft process. Does an exceptional job to avoid first contact, which is why he thinks he's not going to fumble, and then gets caught up and fumbled because he avoids first contact most of the time, so he thinks he's free. Somebody catches up to him, punches the ball out, fumbles. He skipped the combine due to personal reasons. It was not disclosed at the time what his personal reasons were for skipping the combine, but he chose not to go. He ran a 4.42 40-yard dash at his pro day, though, so give or take a couple of milliseconds because pro days maybe embellish a little bit, who knows. He could have character concerns because we still don't know what the personal reasons are for him missing the combine, so maybe those character concerns are prevalent. We don't know yet. But he goes to Green Bay. Maybe that Green Bay coaching staff and that environment in Green Bay can get him out because he's going from California to Green Bay, Wisconsin. That's very, very polar opposites. At number 61, the Philadelphia Eagles are up, and they will take Mike Weston, another left tackle. This was a very strong left tackle class. A lot of highly touted, if I can speak, top prospects at the left tackle position. The Raiders are up again, and they will take Jesse Parker, wide receiver. So they're adding to their possible good offense that they might have. Eric Castaneda at running back, and now the Raiders are up again. And the Raiders will grab themselves a player as we wait for it to reveal itself. The Raiders will grab themselves Alton Charlton, left edge from UCF. And we enter the third round now. Jimmy Cantu, tight end for Tennessee, the first pick of the third round. Then you got Nick Palmer, Mike linebacker. Very excited about Mike Palmer. He's a great player out of Notre Dame. Notre Dame had a lot of guys in this draft, and this is one of the better of the guys in this draft. 6 foot, 225, led Notre Dame in tackles the last 2 years. High IQ player, natural leader, got a twitchy first step. Ran a 4.5 340-yard dash at the combine. He's not the fastest guy in the field, but he plays really hard. He knows how to play the position. He's got great change direction, so if a running back or receiver is trying to juke you out, he's going to be able to make the tackle because he can adjust and change directions just as quick as the running back might be able to. Nick Palmer is a great player, and the Saints are loading up. Loading up. The Lions at 67 take Marcus Cannon, a Mike linebacker. Tampa at 68 go Marco Page, Mike linebacker. The Cowboys at 69 take Michael Tomlinson, another Mike linebacker. A run of Mike linebackers. 4 straight go off the board. And now Minnesota at 70 take Kyrie Murray, a tight end. So still waiting for Jeff Neal, the Ole Miss tight end, to go off the board. Cardinals at 71 take, and there he is. Speak of the devil, and he shall appear. Jeff Neal goes off the board. Not as good of a prospect as Marco Sierra is, but Jeff Neal's a great player. 6'5", 260, hard-nosed runner, actively seeking contact, fights for every single yard. He's not going to drop a lot of passes. He's very, very strong hands. Ran a 4.6 40-yard dash at the combine. He's got great speed, but it's not like blazing speed for the position like Marco Sierra has. He's a very strong physical pass catcher. If you throw into double coverage, he's most likely going to come down with it because he can box people out. He played a little basketball. He knows how to catch passes. He's a very good player. And he finally goes maybe a little bit later than he might have thought. 3rd round pick. But we'll find out. We are now up at 72, and I think I know where I'm going with this. I think I know. I'm going to go Deion Brooks, wide receiver out of West Virginia, the brother of DeMar. I just think that he profiles best for our team. We need another body at receiver. And I like 6'6", who ran a 4.4. I like that build. So Deion Brooks is my guy with the 3rd round pick. Welcome aboard, Deion Brooks. 6'6", 206, playmaker from West Virginia. He's got legit NFL size. He is an average route runner. He's not going to blow you away with his route running capabilities, but we don't need him to be that. We just need him to be a huge dude in the wide receiver position. And being 6'6", he could profile at defensive tackle, or at tight end, excuse me. I misspoke there. At tight end. He needs to put on a little bit of weight. 206 is a little bit thin to play tight end in the NFL, but he can be a tight end for us if he needs to. He's very flexible, strong hands. He's ran a 4.48 40-yard dash. Left hand dominant, which is very interesting. We'll see how that plays out. But actually, he's more ambidextrous, is what we found out at the combine. He's very ambidextrous. He can play left, he can play right. He prefers right hand, but he can also play left. Really solid change of direction. Obviously, brothers with DeMar Brooks. They were a dynamic duo at West Virginia playing both receiver and corner, going up against each other in practice. I mean, just a nice going after a guy like DeMar Brooks, who's a great corner, really solidified how good of a receiver Deion Brooks can be. And we find out that he is normal dev, but he's got 98 agility. Very, very good player. And he's got a lot to work with. I'm very excited about Deion Brooks and see what he's got. We have 2 more 3rd round picks. We'll see where we go with those. We've got Andrew Sanchez going to the Colts. He's a tight end. Marshall Heck goes to the Broncos at 74. And Marshall Heck, I mean, this guy, out of Auburn, 5'11", 215, strong safety. Missed last year due to an Achilles injury, but before that, he was fantastic. A phenomenal tackler. Really well-rounded cover skills. Can play a little corner if need be. Like I said, he can also play a little free safety as well. Ran a 4.48 40-yard dash. A versatile weapon who loves to play in the box. He will play the sub-linebacker position like crazy. He will also go back and play safety. He will play corner. He loves to play in the box. That's probably his favorite place to go. He has the skill to play linebacker at the next level, which is really interesting. 5'11", 215. Just needs to put on a little bit more muscle. Or Marshall, heck, we could be seeing him transition to linebacker for the Denver Broncos. Who knows? And I think that we are going to go to our next picks and see what we might take here. I don't really know much more about these guys. We're at the point where we've kind of exhausted all of our possible scouting. We did all the scouting we could do. Maybe we trade back. Maybe we take some players. I don't know. I have no more favorites on the board. So if we're going to take somebody, we're going to have to just take a flyer on somebody. We know a few players like wide receivers, but we don't really know. We don't really want to take another wide receiver. We don't really need another wide receiver. Tight end. We could take another offensive lineman, but I don't think that's the right idea. I think we've got enough offensive linemen, especially with Dickinson back coming off that injury. Corbin Poole could be a guy at guard for us. Maybe Adrian Gonzalez. He's got a good makeup at pass blocker. Same kind of deal with Manu Martinez. I'm not really seeing a possible offensive line pick. I could see a defensive guy. I could definitely see a defensive guy. Or we just trade out of these picks. We might trade out of the picks because I don't really see a world where these guys make an impact on this team. So let me discuss a possible trade. Let me discuss possible trades. If I could trade this third-round pick for maybe a future second, that could be pretty sick. Maybe Denver's second-round pick next year. Okay, now we're talking. Denver will play ball with us. They need a defensive tackle. They need a left tackle. I'd be willing to give you Elijah Sears. We don't necessarily need Elijah Sears anymore. They don't have the money to take Elijah Sears because we paid him that extension. So if we're going to trade anybody, we got to trade somebody that's not very expensive, like an Emmett Peck type of guy. The trade is very close. Very, very close. I could get away with maybe a Cameron Looney type. He's not very good. And that is going to get through. So we trade out of the third round, at least with this pick, to get a second-round pick next year from the Denver Broncos. I appreciate that. They take Travis Pittman with it. Or Tavares Pittman, excuse me. Greg Henderson goes to the Steelers. Jalen Anderson goes to the Dolphins. And we are up again here in the third round. I did see a possible corner with 3 to 4 true talent. This Emmett Streets guy. Do I double up on corner, though? Do I double up on corner? I'm not too sure. How big is he? He's 6'1", 186. We already have one corner on this team that we drafted. Widmer's a good player. We already have Matt Marshall. I don't know if Emmett Streets is the guy, especially maybe not in the third round. Maybe if we take him in like the 5th round or something, I could get behind that. But other than that, I don't really see the aspects of doing that. I might trade out of this pick again. I may trade out of this other third round pick. I don't know who we trade it to. We only have 2 more draft picks in this draft. Let's see. What do I want to trade out of it? Is there a world where I can get another second round pick? Maybe we trade with the Lions and get a possible second. I mean, they have 2 second round picks. We could possibly get another second round pick from the Detroit Lions if we're able to give them the right thing. And this might be where we toss in Elijah Sears. And it works. Elijah Sears in this year's third gets us another second round pick. Okay, now we're making some things happen. Now if we go to our draft capital for next year, we've got ourselves a first round pick from Seattle. We've got 2 second-round picks now and a third-round pick. We're making some moves. We already have 2 second-round picks in 2028, so we're making some things happen. We are making some things happen. Next year's draft is a little bit better now. But I think we're just going to skip to our next pick, which is in the 5th round. We'll see if that corner is available. I don't know if he will be. I don't see him on the board, but I might have just missed him. If he is, I could take him. He is still available. Emmett Streets. I may take a flyer on Emmett Streets. I don't know if he makes the team, but he's here. He is solid player, 6'1", 186. There are some concerns about his speed. Needs to improve the man coverage technique. He's a work in progress, but we took him in the 5th round not expecting much. So he's got good athleticism, though. The speed's not amazing. It's good enough. I don't know. We'll see how Emmett Streets plays. And then in the 7th round, I really don't even know if we take anybody. It's Mr. Irrelevant. Do we even take anybody with this pick, or do we let somebody else take Mr. Irrelevant? Are there any wide receivers that I would take? Probably not. Probably not, yeah. No, there's nobody here. We don't need anybody with speed. We already have a good wide receiver core. The tight end position, not really feeling it. Offensive line's all gone. I think we just... everybody's potentially undrafted, really. I think we trade out of this final pick. Not really sure what I can get for it. Maybe a 7th round pick next year. Maybe a 6th round pick, I guess. Let's trade out of it. We'll ask for Chicago's 6th round pick next year, and they will give it to us. So Chicago has the final pick. They also drafted somebody with 223, so they get the final 2 picks of the draft. And that is the NFL draft for 2027. I hope you guys enjoyed it, learning about some of these players. Let's take a look at our draft recap, though. Ooh, okay. So Bryson LaPierre ends up being a 74 overall, but Brandon Sampson, the 2nd round guard, ends up being a 79. That's an instant starter. That's a huge pickup. A huge pickup. Then we took Kyle Widmer in the 2nd round. He's a 72. Not bad because we don't need him to be a starter right away. He can develop. He can sit in the training camp and figure out how to do that and how to get better overall wise. Deion Brooks also a 72, but we can work with him again. And then 69 for Emmett Streets. Not too shocked about that. Not shocked at all. We kind of just took a flyer there. But the best players in the class end up being Brendan Sampson, number 1 overall player. He's the only 79 in the class. That's huge. He's the number 1 player in the class. 78 for Enrique Lopez and James Miller. Okay, so it was a lot of 78s. So maybe he's not as good of a player as we thought. But James Miller has 99 speed. I told you this dude was a blazer. 99 speed is insane. Jason Hill's a freak. DeMar Brooks, the brother of Deion, is a great player as well. Mitchell Banks is up there. We didn't even scout him. Marco Sierra is a fantastic player. This is a good draft. It's not amazing. There's not any 80 overall players, but a good draft overall wise. And I think a really good draft for us. I think we did a good job there. We filled some needs, filled some holes, especially on the offensive line for sure. And now we go into year number 3, ready to take on the season as the defending champions. For the first time ever, the Cleveland Browns are defending champions. And now the offensive line looks a little bit better. LaPierre comes in. Dickinson, we'll have to figure out where we want to do with him. Do we keep him at guard? I don't know. But LaPierre is going to stay at tackle. Sans obviously is going to stay at guard. The offensive line looks fantastic now. The only question we have left to answer is, what do we do with Greg Newsome? Do we trade Greg Newsome? Do we keep him? I don't know. What happens with Cole Bishop? I guess there's 2 questions. What happens with Cole Bishop and Grant Delpit? Do we keep one of them and trade the other? Do we trade Greg Newsome for a safety? I don't know. I don't know what we do. We're kind of loaded. We are kind of loaded. And we have this man to do it all. Julian Enriquez entering his 2nd season. Already a Super Bowl MVP. He looks really good. And he's going to continue to grow with that superstar development. So, he's a fantastic player. We now have 3 amazing running backs in Jonathan Taylor, which I did not think was going to happen at all, getting Jonathan Taylor on this team. But he's here now. That's an amazing one at an 89 overall. And then we have Bashal Tootin, who's got electric speed. So, The wide receiver position's in a good spot. The line's in a good spot. I like this team a lot, man. I like this Cleveland Brown roster. We just have a couple of decisions to make with Greg Newsome and with the safety position. What do we do there? But I will see you guys in the regular season of year 3. We start with an amazing game against the Chiefs. What a way to kick off year number 3. But I will go through, I will do the training camp, I will do the preseason, we'll get all that stuff sorted, and we'll make sure that we are ready and raring to go for the start of year number 3. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel for more, join the Juice Cup. Remember, we are on the road to 5,000 subscribers, so if you want to help me get to that mark, make sure you hit that subscribe button, join the Juice Club. That's going to do it for me, though. I will catch you in the next one. Peace.